Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the library. I'm Jeff Barber, the Library Director and CEO here at Regina Public Library. First of all, today I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on Treaty 4 territory. It is the traditional territory of the Cree, Saulteaux, Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota, and homeland of the Métis. Regina Public Library is committed to working together with Indigenous peoples as we take important steps forward on the pathway of collaboration, reconciliation, and change. Welcome to the 2023 Saskatchewan Book Awards Shortlist announcement. Can't tell you how wonderful it is to see everyone and be here today. Thank you for taking the time to come and spend your lunch with us to see who the 2023 nominees are. We're so pleased to be hosting this event and, of course, very pleased to be a sponsor of the Book of the Year Award. As you can probably guess, supporting writers is a fundamental piece of the work that we do at the library. Initiatives like the RPL Writer-in-Residence program, our annual Rites of Spring series starting in April, they provide us opportunities to nurture established local writers and emerging voices in our community. And of course, writers need readers, and fortunately we have some of those too. By providing access to literature, we're also helping to grow a passionate community of readers that is invested in Saskatchewan and in Saskatchewan writers' success. Now, I get to turn things over to Donna Woloshin, the chair of the board of the Saskatchewan Book Awards. Please welcome Donna.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Jeff, and good afternoon, everyone. Wow, this is an amazing crowd. This is like about 10 times as many people as we had last year. Anyway, it's great to be here in person to announce the shortlist for the 30th Annual Saskatchewan Book Awards. To begin, I'd like to thank the Saskatchewan Writers Guild and the Regina Public Library for hosting us this afternoon, and in particular for the efforts of Kat Abenstein and Courtney Bates-Hardy and the technical staff here at RPL. Last year in June, the SBA Board of Directors announced some significant changes to the structure of our organization. Beginning with the 2023 award season, the Saskatchewan Book Awards has begun operating in closer connection with our founding partners, the Saskatchewan Writers Guild, Sask Books, and the Saskatchewan Library Association. The 4 organizations have entered into a memorandum of understanding to facilitate a greater role for the founding partners in the logistics and operational support of the Saskatchewan Book Awards. This arrangement will continue to promote and celebrate Saskatchewan authors and publishers as we have done for 30 years. As part of this agreement, this is the first year the Saskatchewan Writers Guild is hosting the SBA's Shortlist announcement in partnership with the Regina Public Library. The SBA relationship with Sask Books continues to be a work in progress as we determine the best way to proceed with our 2024 call for submissions. The other significant change introduced to the Book Award season is a role undertaken by the Saskatchewan Library Association. They will be the host of SBA's 30th anniversary gala, which will be held at the Saskatoon Inn on Thursday, May the 4th. Tickets for this event can be purchased on our website at www.bookawards.sk.ca. With respect to the Saskatchewan Book Awards, our core activities will continue to focus on administering the sponsorships for the awards and the annual call for submissions, and management of independent adjudication processes. Retaining these core activities ensures the integrity and freedom from conflict of interest that was an integral principle agreed upon by the founding partners when they were founded in 1993. So, here we are today, celebrating 30 years of writing and publishing excellence in Saskatchewan. The Saskatchewan Book Awards, created in 1993, gave out 4 awards at that ceremony. Well, I'm so very pleased to say that this year we received 176 entries for 14 award categories. We are indeed honored to be able to celebrate these incredible authors and publishers who work so hard to produce the books that make up our rich culture. However, this event wouldn't have been possible without the 41 jurors from BC to Newfoundland who volunteered their time and services to read, review, and assess the books sent to them. The juries were not equally weighted and ranged broadly between some juries having fewer than 10 entries and the Book of the Year having 32 entries. It's a tough award category. But a big thank you to my board members who helped with all the Zoom jury calls. Overall, what I heard from jurors were observations like, I learned a lot from reading books that I might never have been exposed to or purchased. Others commented, I never knew Saskatchewan had so many great authors and wrote so many engaging stories. I can tell you that as a volunteer on the Saskatchewan Board of Directors, sometimes there isn't a lot of glory in volunteering, but I have experienced many wonderful moments in conversations with board members, jury members, shortlisted authors and publishers that have enriched my experience as the chairperson. And now for a brief commercial. In May, we will be looking for board members, and I hope someone partaking in this event today will consider becoming a board member. Just contact our office. We are also very appreciative of the support of our funders and sponsors, and the donations from people like you, which ensure we can continue to recognize, reward, and promote the work of Saskatchewan authors and publishers. Without this support, the Book Awards would not exist. So, before I introduce our RPL Writer-in-Residence, a little housekeeping. Number 1, please hold your applause until all 14 categories have been read out. And I could tell you that there's a lot to read, so you'll have to hang on to your hands. Second, please make sure that your cell phones are turned off. Third, authors, please stand up when your name is mentioned. And after the categories have been read, all authors please come to the front for a picture. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our MC for this afternoon's announcement, RPL Writer-in-Residence, Pam Bustin. I just met Pam this morning, but when I went on her website, Pam describes herself as a writer, creator, editor, and storyteller. Her website also states that she currently lives mostly in Chapleau, Ontario. Let me say that again. Her website states that she currently lives mostly in Chapleau, Ontario, with a lovely man and 10,001 books. though she still tends to wander. I understand Pam has strong prairie roots that link back to Regina as her birthplace. Raised in a host of small prairie towns, Pat started her writing career right here in Saskatchewan. In fact, Pam's first novel, Mostly Happy, published by Thistledown Press, won 2 Saskatchewan Book Awards in 2008, the First Book Award and the Fiction Award. See where that gets you when you get a First Book Award? Since then, Pam's literary repertoire has expanded and included plays written for stage and radio. 3 of her radio dramas have aired nationally on the CBC, and her fiction and nonfiction work has appeared in various publications. Pam, on behalf of the SBA Board of Directors, may I express how delighted we are that your heart and your feet have wandered back to Saskatchewan and that you are our MC this afternoon. Friends, please give a warm welcome to our MC, Pam Bustin.
Brought 2 waters, just in case. Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm so happy to be here making this big announcement. And I'm so happy to see so many people here in person. And I also want to welcome everybody who's online watching. Hello, hello. Sorry you couldn't be here in person because we're going to have refreshments later and you won't get to have any. So that's what happens. But I'm so glad to be here. So I have notes. First of all, just before I begin, I just want to add my own personal thanks. Sorry. My name is Pam Bustin, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm supposed to tell you that. And I also want to add my thanks to the original peoples of this land that we live on, for the great care that they have taken in tending our land and waters. And I join them always in tending our land and waters and our relationships with each other. May we continue to grow and learn from each other. And on that note, I just need to say, people are probably laughing because I'm used to public speaking, but I'm shaking a little bit. And that's because I really, really want to get all my pronunciations correct today. And I have been practicing, and I want to honor people properly in their language and their pronunciation of their names. So we're gonna see how that goes. Be with me, everyone. Okay. So today, we will recognize some of the best writers and publishers Saskatchewan has to offer in 14 categories. So let's just get right into it. First, the shortlisted books for the Ministry of Culture, Recreation and Sport, honoring Brenda McDonald Rich's First Book Award, Cathedral of Stars by Gloria Engel, published by Your Nicholsworth Publishing. Only in Saskatchewan by Naomi Hansen, published by Touchwood Editions. Perfect Timing, Recollections of Coping with Cancer During a Pandemic by Barbara Rule, an ebook published by the University of Regina Open Educational Resource Publishing Program. Seas Move Away by Joanne Lowe, published by Turnstone Press. And Thickwood by Gail M. Smith, published by Shadowpaw Press Premier. The next category is the University of Saskatchewan Nonfiction Award. The shortlisted books are I Never Met a Rattlesnake I Didn't Like by David Carpenter, published by Thistledown Press. And Awakanage, the story of Carry the Kettle Nakota First Nation by Carry the Kettle First Nation with Jim Tanner, David R. Miller, Tracy Tanner, and Peggy Martin McGuire, published by the University of Regina Press. The Acid Room by Jesse Donaldson and Erica Dick, published by Anvil Press. The Boy from Buswa, A Life in Indian Education by Cecil King, published by the University of Regina Press. And The Sunday Book by Michael Trussler, published by Palimpsest Press. The next category, I hope I'm not going too fast for you. to acknowledge the beauty of this. The next category is the University of Regina Faculty of Arts, University of Saskatchewan Arts and Science College of Arts Jennifer Welsh Scholarly Award. And the shortlisted books are Cree and Christian, Encounters and Transformations by Clinton M. N. Westman, published by the University of Nebraska Press. From Left to Right, Saskatchewan's Political and Economic Transformation by Dale Eisler, published by the University of Regina Press. Making Muskoka, Tourism, Rural Identity, and Sustainability, 1870 to 1920, by Andrew Watson, published by UBC Press. And Owakanagi, The Story of Carry the Kettle, Nakota First Nation, by Carry the Kettle First Nation, with Jim Tanner, David R. Miller, Tracy Tanner, and Peggy Martin McGuire, published by the University of Regina Press. I need a sip of water, sorry. I just want to build the suspense. Because our next category is, I'm looking into the online people now, the City of Saskatoon and Saskatoon Public Library Saskatoon Book Award. The shortlisted books are Field Requiem by Sherry Benning, published by Carcanet Press Limited. I Never Met a Rattlesnake I Didn't Like by David Carpenter, published by Thistledown Press. Same Ground by Russell Wengerski, published by ECW Press. The Apothecary's Garden by Jeanette Lines, published by HarperCollins Press, HarperCollins Publishers. And Welcome to the Cipher by Cody Dill, published by Anique Press. And you can probably guess what the next category is. The City of Regina Book Award. And the shortlisted titles are Perfect Timing, Recollections of Coping with Cancer During a Pandemic, ebook by Barbara Rule, published by the University of Regina Open Educational Resource Publishing Program. Shepherd's Call by Angie Cunios and David Gain, published by Your Nicholsworth Publishing. The History Forest by Michael Trussler, published by the University of Regina Press. And The Sunday Book by Michael Trussler, published by Palimpsest Press. And Then I'll Be Famous by David Robert Loblaw, published by Cameron House Media. The next category is the Saskatchewan Arts Poetry Award, honoring Anne Sumagalski. The shortlisted titles are Field Requiem by Sherry Benning, published by Carcanet Press Limited. Garden Physic by Sylvia Legree, published by New Directions Publishing. Shimmers of Light by Robert Curry, published by Thistledown Press. Stations of the Crossed by Carol Rose Golden Eagle, published by Inanna Publications. And The History Forest by Michael Trussler, published by the University of Regina Press. Moving on, the next category is the Sask Books Publishing in Education Award. And the shortlisted titles are the University of Regina Press for Akami Nehiawetan, Let's Keep Speaking Cree by Solomon Ratt. The University of Regina Press for Kias Nochi, I Come From a Long Way Back by Mary Louise Rockthunder Ripinagit. The University of Regina Press for Nehi Oatan Kikenak, Speaking Cree in the Home by Belinda Daniels and Andrea Custer. And the University of Regina Press for Walking Together, The Future of Indigenous Child Welfare on the Prairies. Editors, Jason Albert, Dorothy Baudry, Don Fuchs, Peter W. Choate, Marilyn Bennett, and H. Monty Montgomery. And finally, your Nicholsworth Publishing for Nimoshon Ogis Kisewan Nimishomish Da Michewa Cheman, Grandfather's Reminder, by Albert Rose Bear and Kathleen O'Reilly. And the next category is the Creative Saskatchewan Publishing Award. And the shortlisted titles are Radiant Press for Bodies in Trouble by Diane Carley. Thistledown Press for The Elephant on the Karloff Bridge by Thomas Trofimic. Trofimic? Is that right? University of Regina Press and University of Toronto Press for The Ecological Buffalo by Wes Olson and Johan Janelle. The University of Regina Press for Kias Nochin, I Come from a Long Way Back by Mary Louise Rockthunder Wipanagit. The University of Regina Press also for Owakanage, the story of Carry the Kettle Nakota First Nation. The Carry the Kettle First Nation with Jim Tanner, David R. Miller, Tracy Tanner, and Peggy Martin McGuire. The next category is the Saskatchewan Public Library Indigenous Peoples Publishing Award. And the shortlisted titles are Miyawata Culture Association for Ashes and Embers, Stories of the Delmas Indian Residential School by Floyd Favo. The University of Regina Press for Okanage, the story of Carry the Kettle Nakota First Nation. Carry the Kettle Nakota First Nation with Jim Tanner, David R. Miller, Tracy Tanner, and Peggy Martin McGuire. And the University of Regina Press for Kayas Nochi, I Come from a Long Way Back by Mary Louise Rockthunder Wipanagit. Also, the University of Regina Press for This Boy from Buzwa, A Life in Indian Education by Cecil King. And your Nicholsworth Publishing for Nimoshon Ogis Kisewan Nimishomish Da Mishen We Sheman, Grandfather's Reminder by Albert Rose Bear and Kathleen O'Reilly. The next category is the Rasmussen and Company Indigenous Peoples Writing Award. And the short list is Nimoshan Ogis Kisewan Nimishomish Da Mishen We Sheman, Grandfather's Reminder by Albert Rose Bear and Kathleen O'Reilly, published by your Nicholsworth Publishing. Stations of the Crossed by Carol Rose Golden Eagle, published by Inanna Publications. And The Boy from Buzwa, A Life in Indian Education by Cecil King, published by the University of Regina Press. One more sip of water. And a break for you to just absorb all these wonderful titles, which you'll be able to see after we're done here. So our next shortlisted category is the G. Murray and Edna Forbes Foundation Young Adult Literature Award. Always exciting. So this year our short list includes Finders Keepers by Melanie McFarlane, published by Orca Books Publishers. Guardians of Port Haven by Shane Arbuthnot, published by Orca Books Publishers. Hey.
Good afternoon. Let's invite you to the exhibition at Belmont Art Gallery. It's held
Pause for an announcement.
Exploring queer life and South Asian dysphoria. Join us today at 12:30, or please drop in at any time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on with our YA shortlist. Mr. Universe by Arthur Slade, published by Orca Books Publishers. Star Song by Edward Willett, published by Shadowpaw Press Premier. And Sisters of the Wolf by Patricia Miller Schroeder. I always say Schroeder. Do you say Schrader? Schroeder. She says Schroeder. Yay, me! Published by Dundurn Press. I'm so glad you're here, Patricia. Okay, and now we move on to the shortlist for dun, da, 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 the Fiction Award. And that shortlist is Danceland Diaries by D. Hobson Smith, published by Radiant Press. A Snake in the Raspberry Patch by Joanne Jackson, published by Stonehouse Publishing. Going to Beautiful by Anthony Bedolka, published by Stonehouse Publishing. And Jamila Green Ruins Everything by Zarka Nawaz, published by Simon & Schuster, Canada. And What is Written on the Tongue by Anne Lazurko, published by ECW Press. And the shortlist for the Le Prix du Livre Français is Départ by David Baudemont, published by Éditions de la Nouvelle Plume. Le Grand Barrage by Jean-Pierre Picard, published by Éditions de la Nouvelle Plume. And Monicology by Alistair Rees, published by Les Éditions Dublé. Pause for effect. Finally, the shortlisted books for the 2023 Regina Public Library Book of the Year Award honoring Mary Sutherland are Only in Saskatchewan by Naomi Hansen, published by Touchwood Editions. Stations of the Crossed by Carol Rose Golden Eagle, published by Inanna Publications. The Apothecary's Garden by Jeanette Lyons, published by HarperCollins Publishers. The Life Sentence of Rick McQuinney by Rick McQuinney, edited by Jason Demers, published by the University of Regina Press. And What is Written on the Tongue by Anne Lazurko, published by ECW Press. All right, we can give a big round of applause to all of the shortlisted people. Woo! It's always so exciting, right? To have the shortlist and then have this time before the awards to get to know the books and the authors at events coming up. So there you have it. Yes, what an impressive list of nominees for the 2023 Saskatchewan Book Awards. Thank you all for attending the 2023 SBA shortlist announcement here, and thank you all to those who have joined us online as well. A big, big, big thank you, especially to Kat Ebenstein from the Saskatchewan Writers Guild, who organized this event along with our beautiful Courtney Bates Hardy and her team from the Regina Public Library. And a big, big thanks to the whole of the Regina Public Library for the use of this space and for live streaming the announcement. And most of all, for those of us who are here, for the refreshments that we will partake in when we're done. Now, please don't forget to mark your calendars, okay? So Thursday, May 4th, 2023, that's when the Saskatchewan Library Association will be hosting the SBA's 30th anniversary gala up at the Saskatoon Inn. For tickets and event details, you can just visit the SBA's website, which you all know by heart, but I'm going to say it anyway, www.bookawards.sk.ca. Finally, I would like to invite any of the shortlisted authors who are present with us here today to come up to the front for a photo. And I encourage you all to partake in the refreshments and take a look at our shortlisted book display, and you can borrow the shortlisted books because the library has made the books available for us to borrow because we are here today together. All right, thank you guys and have a wonderful day. Yeah.